What is up, folks? Welcome back to another live stream repair. We have got quite a few pods to catch up with here. We're going to kick things off with Joel's pod that took a software restore the other day. We've just been testing it to make sure that it wasn't a hardware issue that bricked it. Seems to be going all fine and dandy. So we're going to crack it open and do the requested hardware maintenance for it. Prevent any other common reason for it to come back to us. And then we're going to knock through those other pods here, and we've got a few more to add. Let's see. We went through Jed, and now after that we've got 3760 with no power. Jamal. Is that Jamal? I think I wrote down Jamal with bad bass. New line. We've got 3858 with some bad bass. We've got Adiel. Is that how you pronounce that? They've got what they describe as a HomePod that sounds like crap. Something along those lines. Not the exact verbiage, but that's how I'd put it. We've got 3243 with no power. Is that right? That's a pretty old number there. I'll have to double check that. And then 3878 with no power. To wrap the day up, hopefully we can get through all of that. Goodness. Let's see. We need to email Joel here and let him know they're coming up first. And then let's email Albert and let him know that they're coming up next here finally. Let's see, where are they? It is a text message. And there we go. Stefan, welcome back. Yes, I did get quite an early start to today. So happy to be here, knocking things out early. This is about when I like to start. But I'm usually just far too busy with either the day job or the wife and kid to go straight from day job to here. But I was able to start pretty early this morning, and things are relatively calm for now. So we're gonna get a jump start here. Okay, so if this started working with nothing more than a software restore using our USB cable, then why are we cracking it open? Because there are plenty of, well, really two main other reasons that we far more often get these things in for. That would be the 4 filters on the amplifier for DC offset that routinely go bad due to age or simply Apple using bad ones in the first place. Those routinely need replaced, and if you don't take care of them when they start letting you know that they're going bad, then they will develop into death farts and roasty, stinky bass speakers. The other common issue that these show up for is no power. That one is a little less ubiquitous in the sense that only a certain date range of these diodes have been failing and causing this no power issue. So unlike the filters where we need to replace them in every HomePod, that diode, we're only looking out for a certain date range of them. I need some alcohol. Ooh, that's okay. I only spilled half a gallon on the floor. It's just rubbing alcohol. It won't hurt nothing except for all the germs, I suppose, right? I do not want to restart now, Microsoft. You will have to pick a time that I am not actively using my computer. Alright, up first, those fart filters. Beautiful. Do we need a new Schottky diode? Yes, we do. We've got that date code that we're looking out for. Let's get that replaced so it doesn't need to come back to us in the future for it. All right. Excuse me. Let's get this back together. Alright. We got Joel all fixed up and ready to go. It's time for Albert's pod here with no power. Oh. There we go. After Albert's pod here, we've got Edmond with no power as well. Let's see what this guy's got. Definitely nothing on the top there, no lights, no power, no nothing. We've got 6 watts getting pulled out of the outlet. So that says it's not like a silly blown fuse or some of the rare no power causes we see. No, this is another dead diode. Uh-oh, we got a broken bit. Where is it? There it is. John, what is up? What is up? What is up? Oh, and of course, busier than ever. Courtesy of the 4th of July in the middle of the week. Closing the UPS store and pushing everyone's shipments back. And then of course the weekend directly following, they're not going to deliver anything, so it all got stacked up and onto Monday. Plus a couple of Steam Decks, so that chewed up a lot of our time. But it's fun work. Stephen, you're back. Oh, okay. Goodbye again, Stefan. See you soon. Alright, let's knock out a little maintenance first. A new set of fart filters to keep that subwoofer nice and healthy. And now for the certainly dead Schottky diode with that date code that we look out for. Let's get it replaced. People still send in HomePods? Oh, dude, you bet. Not only are they still sending HomePods in like 4 years later, 5 or 6 after they were discontinued, what, if not longer. But I mean, it just seems like we continuously get busier and busier, and it used to be 1 or 2 every day or so, and then it was 2 or 3 every day or so, and then it was 2 or 3 every day, and well gosh, now we're having more days than not where we have like 5, 10, 15 showing up, holiday or not. It is actually really crazy how people still love these old smart speakers so much that they're willing to pay a not the smallest fee to get it fixed and keep it going. People love them that much, and I totally understand it. I love them that much. That's why we're still fixing them. Many people, myself included, also believe that the first gens sound better than the second gens. So there's just this huge base of people that still have one, or in many cases, many more than one HomePod, first gen. And it's like, I mean, if you drop a couple grand on a bunch of HomePods to fill your house up with whole home audio, who's gonna want to replace all of that ever? Especially if you can pay less than $100 to get the one that breaks every once in a while fixed and keep the whole thing going. What's usually wrong with them? Well, you've got this one here with that black chip that we replaced. That's the Schottky diode. It's a little protection diode, but in this case, there was a bad batch of diodes used, and they're failing for no good reason. It'll cause no power, and you have to take it apart to... You gotta take it apart like you see here to get to it. The second most common issue, really the top two issues are pretty tied. But you've got no power caused by that diode, and you've got death farts and or bad bass caused by the DC filters of the amplifier going bad. And even though each speaker, each of the 7 tweeters have their own amplifier on this board, and the subwoofer has its own amplifier, all on this one board. But the filter issue only affects the bass output. I've got a whole list of common issues and lesser common things that we've come across on my website. You can head over to nixfix.com. It's at the bottom right of the screen there. You can head to nixfix.com. I've got a list of known issues and a whole bunch of fun stuff. Fancy schmancy website. I spent a lot of time putting a lot of info up there so I wouldn't have to blab myself to death saying the same stuff here. But at the same time, right, like, how exciting is it to sit here and watch me do the same thing over and over in silence? We're running out of things to talk about. I guess I could tell you my whole life story from birth till this current point in time. It all started in the early 90s. I was a troublemaker before I was even born. Let's replace this since it's busted up. I don't feel like gluing it back together and hoping that it doesn't fall apart, shipping it back to him. Get out of there. Yeah, I'm not old, but I'm not, the kids would call it unk. I'm not old, I'm not young. I am over 30, so I'm not, I can't by any stretch call myself a kid anymore unless I'm talking to someone twice my age. And then at least I still feel a bit kiddish. How much longer will that last? What, I bet I turn 40 and that's when I actually start to feel old and there's not much I can argue about it. 50 you say. Hopefully I make it that far. I shouldn't be laughing. What's the stuff my my father-in-law, he swears by it, and my mother-in-law subsequently swears by it. It's like osteobiplex or something like that, some supplement. They swear left and right it helps their joint health. And it makes them feel young again. Get you some osteobiplex. Bit of advice if you're under 30 out there. Get yourself squared away and set straight onto healthy habits before you turn 25 to 30 years old. Because after that point, it gets exponentially more difficult. It's way easier to carry the momentum of healthy habits into old age if you've already got it going than to be hitting up the doctor at 45 to 55 and being told that you gotta kick stuff into gear just to give yourself a significant rest of your life expectancy. What do I know? I'm not a doctor. I'm only 30 some odd years old too. I don't know nothing.
I'm having trouble connecting to the...
Beautiful. Making progress. Let's get Edmond here fixed up. With most likely the exact same issue and failure as Albert's pod we just fixed there. Let's take a peek. Yeah, no lights, no power. Dang near the same power draw. I'm willing to bet that's the same dead diode. Here we go. New fart filters, and then we'll give it a new power diode. Marvin, what is up? Welcome back. Stefan is busy doing something else. He said he'd be back in a bit. It's just you and me and 7 other people that don't want to say anything in the chat. And we've got John back with us. Not sure if you two have ever met though. Edmond, glad you could make it. Gosh darn Dolly. Golly dang it. That's 3 HomePods fixed in under an hour. Let's keep that pace up. We'll be out of here in no time. Maybe we can get out of here before Stefan gets back. We've now got Justin here, and then it's gonna be Jed coming up after. Let's shoot some folks a message.
I'm having trouble connecting to you.
Beautiful. Fantastic. We move on to Justin's pod with no power. Coming up next is going to be Jed. Can we fit this all into one line? The rest of the queue fits into one line. Huzzah! What do we got here? No lights, no power, no nothing. Except for the usual power draw from the wall that tells us it's another dead diode. Let's dig in. This feels broken. Something feels not right. It's like extra soft on one part of it. You turned down a job at the Apple Store, Marvin? What the heck? You just didn't want to work there? What's up with that? I mean, I won't entirely blame you. I've heard hit and miss experiences working at the Apple Store. Stefan, welcome back. Dang, that is, the Apple Store near us is paying like $24 an hour starting. So 16 an hour plus conversion, you know, from to USD. And with how much you're actually taking home. Swindon, what is up? Welcome, welcome. Ooh, anything good, Stefan? Or was it all junk? Junk, like real junk. Got a bunch of free phones? Dang, that's a pretty good haul too. It's not just total junk. What are you gonna do with them? You gonna flip them? Or are you gonna break them? A little step in therapy. First order of business, a new set of fart filters. Since they all love to go bad naturally, it's a good idea to replace them whenever you've got the shot, the opportunity. Now let's fix the actual problem. That dead diode causing our power issue. I squish worms. Nice name, welcome, welcome. Don't don't go in the same room as my wife. My wife loves worms. Feels bad every time she sees a worm stuck on the sidewalk after a heavy rain. I hope it's nothing personal you got against the worms. Nature's biodegrader. And we got a falcon. Welcome, welcome. Goodness, we got a party going in the chat now. Alright. A new set of DC filters to keep the farts away and the subwoofer from stinking up. A new Schottky diode to fix the power issue and prevent it from happening again. Ready to go back together with a new subwoofer gasket on the way up top. And then it's on to the next pod. Picotronics Repair. We got a whole bunch of repair shops in here. Welcome, fellas. I hope I'm making you all proud. What do you guys work on? What's like the top 3 things that you repair? If repair's in your name, you gotta be working on something, right? Oh, and we get all sorts of stuff in here too on occasion. Usually, it's the HomePods. That's what we made a name of ourselves with. That's what most people know us for. But we've actually yesterday we did 2 Steam Decks that both just needed some shell swaps. Easy work, just time consuming. We had a Juve red light therapy device that simply needed a new battery, but it's a little more involved than just putting in a new battery. You gotta swap the battery management board off of the original battery, because any replacement battery that you can find that will fit inside of the thing comes with a battery management board that can't sustain the power draw that the device requires. Even though the lithium cell itself is perfectly capable of it, they cheap out on the battery management board. So you gotta swap the board onto the new battery. And while we're in it, we give it a JST connector so they can just unplug it and plug a new battery in the future if they can get their hands on one that will come with not a cheap battery management board. We also have we seem to fancy a lot of people for stick drift repairs. We had Dan's PS5 controller a few days ago. We replaced the old naturally flawed potentiometers with new magnetic Hall effect sensors that won't give him the same problem down the road. We've done a similar repair for the Xbox Elite controllers. Basically, I'm willing to take on whatever I think we have a reasonable shot at fixing, especially if there isn't already a shop out there specializing in it. I don't want MacBooks and iPads and iPhones, because there's already so many other people out there that'll be able to fix it so much better and faster with more experience than I am. I'm looking for the stuff that people can't find other people to fix. And while I can afford to charge people a reasonable rate, you know, who's going to be able to find a repair shop that's going to want to replace a battery in a portable red light device for $20? Most shops aren't going to want to bother. But it's like a $500 to $700 device. It makes no sense to throw it away over a $20 battery. Y'all have heard the story many, many times. X device makes no sense to throw away because of how cheap X part is to fix it. The diodes that we use to fix the HomePods, ironically, the higher quality, higher rated version of the part is also cheaper. Go figure, supply and demand, right? It only costs us about 75 to 85 cents per diode, though. Start a Discord call. Oh, and read the messages to me? I appreciate that. I think we'll be all right If people tell you what, if you really want my attention and want me to answer a question, then you can mention me. You can just at me in the chat, and it highlights my name orange, and I notice the message sooner than when I glance over every once in a while. Where am I based? I am in Bellevue, Washington. I'm in Bellevue. I've been in Washington my whole life. This side of the state for the second half of my life. Just outside of Seattle. I'm only like a 5-10 minute drive from downtown Seattle, believe it or not. I'm like the Louis Rossman for HomePods. I appreciate the compliment. I'll take it as a compliment, but I think we're still a bit a ways from being as both entertaining and intelligent as Louis Rossman. We seem to know just enough to get ourselves in and out of some trouble here. We've got a ways to go before we can compare ourselves to the likes of the big boys like Lewis. And Northridge Fix is one of my favorites. I like those two the most. Tronics Fix is entertaining to watch, although he doesn't have a whole lot of electronics repair experience on a board repair level. But still pretty entertaining to watch him nonetheless. And then also my recently discovered favorite repair channel, you guys should check out NanoFix. Go check out NanoFix and give them a subscribe. They don't even know who I am. But I enjoy their content enough to tell you guys to go check them out. Let's see, Jed, where is, here we go. Oh, here we go. I think I wrote this fella's phone number down. Yeah, I did. That is number 3780 coming up next. And that makes a lot more sense. Sorry, had to step away for a second to sort out who the heck's HomePod was coming up next. Okay. So, Jed here, no power. They sent in it looks like a couple of their diodes. And it looks like someone's been in here. So, considering that, I'm not going to go ahead and plug this in and see what it's doing. We're going to just jump right into taking it apart here, because I don't know what else they may have done wrong. I don't want to cause more damage. Gosh. I don't want to cause more damage plugging it in without figuring out what they may have done. The question is also, how far did they make it? What all did they do? What all did they try? I suppose I could look at my repair notes and our previous correspondence and see if they said anything. But we'll keep it interesting. We'll keep it a mystery for you and I here. Oh, we got Jed in the chat with us. Goodness, I didn't even notice. Welcome, welcome. Thermal cam. I do have a thermal camera. I use a Cat S62 Pro. It's an Android phone that has a FLIR thermal camera built in. I wouldn't recommend you buy one just for the sake of having a thermal camera for electronics repair. I would buy a more purpose-built dedicated thermal camera. But it gets the job done. Alright, y'all want a Discord call? Y'all can have a Discord call. Let's do this. Let's do this. Discord.gg/nixfix. Do they still do discord.gg? Let's join the HomePod repair voice channel. And I'll turn my camera on there too, so you can you don't have to live with the delay from the stream. There we go. Feel free to join my Discord server if you want to yell at me over voice chat instead of waiting for me to catch your chat message. There we go. Alright. Oh yeah, and I can, I thought I could show the Discord too. The voice chat on stream. Why is that not working? Install for OBS. Select a server. Select a channel.
Hello, Nick.
Is that Marvin? Welcome, Marvin.
That's me, yeah.
Alright, there we go. But it's not showing when I talk. That's cool. Alright, let's waste another minute trying to get this working and then I'm going to give up on it. Browser source. Test, 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 test. Yeah, it's not lighting up whenever I talk. That's ideal.
But I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can hear me, but it's not working the way that it needs to. It's show speaking users only? No. Nope. Stream kit's just broken right now. That's okay. People will live. They'll survive. It's not even Monday, it's Tuesday. Things are supposed to malfunction on Mondays. Alright. Looks like they definitely got this far. I wonder if they went all the way.
Chet was a genius at an Apple store, he said, and he was able to take it all apart.
Ah.
He did it himself.
So this is a genius's work, eh? We'll see
Let's
about
see how well Apple's trained them.
We'll see about that. You know, I think I've told this while you've been in the stream before, but like right when I started getting into HomePod repairs, I had bought a couple off Shop Goodwill's website, and they were starting to have issues, but they were still in warranty. So I reached out to Apple support, and I had to throw a fit and end up with a senior manager or whatever, a senior executive, and they were finally able to approve a warranty replacement for my 2 HomePods, but they were adamant that I'm not supposed to take them apart whatsoever. And if I took them apart, not if I broke them, not if I worked on them, but even if I so much as tried taking them apart, that will void my warranty. And it took so much of me to not say something about that, because I really just wanted them to replace the HomePods. Like, man, just replace my HomePods under warranty. I won't argue about it, but that's straight up illegal. You cannot freaking void my warranty just because I took the thing apart. And for you to threaten me with that, my blood was boiling. But in the back of my head, I knew, actually, yes, I did take one of them apart and put it back together just for the sole purpose of proving the point. No, you can't tell. You can't tell. This was Nick's work 4 years ago too, and they couldn't tell that I had taken the thing apart.
I mean, you know that they're not going to take it apart themselves, so there's no way to check if it's
exactly
back together.
They threw the thing straight in the trash.
Yeah. And Swindon Electronics Repair asked if those are like Alexas. So Alexa is a little bit smarter than Siri, but view the HomePods more as a very good speaker than a smart assistant. I mean, if you're familiar with Siri, it's the same thing on your iPhone. It's not the best, even with the ChatGPT right now, or whatever Apple Intelligence, it's still not great. So take it with a grain of salt. But the speaker part of it, Swindon, is actually really good, especially from the first generation HomePods that aren't sold anymore. They're basically vintage now.
Yeah, that's why people are still paying so much all these years later to have me fix them. They just sound so gosh darn good. And it's not like it's the best speaker out there. But the point is it's frankly going to be probably the best listening experience that most people will have heard at that price or less. And then the flexibility of just being able to plug it into the wall and put it wherever you want, add as many as you want, and sync them all together effortlessly. Like, there are other products on the market that do it, but just not as well as your HomePods here.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the message. So the money the Apple Store here would have taken would have been like around $18.20. Minimum wage is around $15. But apart from that, it would have also been over the holidays. So Apple holidays, basically September, new devices, and the contract would have lasted until the end of January, and they couldn't promise that headquarters in Germany would approve more positions for the FSR. So I was like, yeah, no, I have a degree. I have a 2 years apprenticeship. I don't want to waste my time in retail. I would have loved to work for Apple 10 years ago when I applied for the first time, but they didn't want me back then.
Yep, same. I'm in the exact same spot, man. Like 10 years ago when I applied the first time, you missed your shot. I get paid too much now to take it back.
Very well.
Alright, so it looks like we've got a couple of things going on here. It appears we still have a shorted diode, or a short on the board making it look like it's the diode. I don't even know if they replaced the diode yet. It looks pretty original. But we've also got a blown up step-down converter and a missing 0.1 microfarad capacitor. So let's just let's get that all cleaned up here. Let's get that all fixed up. Do I have a board with another step down on it? Gosh, I keep forgetting to order more step downs whenever I buy more parts. There's a new version of this step down, not that you need it, but it's readily available. Alright, we got ourselves a step down. I might as well grab that 0.1 microfarad capacitor right next to it. We'll get the step down on first.
I'm glad I never had to replace one of those.
It by itself is not difficult. It's the stuff all around it that if your tweezers slip and you bump that thing, oh, you're screwed. You're spending the next half hour rebuilding all of that.
The one that you're putting on right now, I had an issue with that.
This
that is a little B word.
This guy is actually really easy. You just got to stick some flux down so it stays in place, and then heat it up. It'll put itself in position.
I mean, yeah, but for people that don't regularly repair like that, I crashed out.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. 100%. So it's still a little off. I'm going to hit it with more flux, and it should essentially snap right into position. There we go. And if you don't have a steady hand, too, you absolutely need it.
That capacitor was the reason why that one HomePod of mine was only blinking for 1 second.
Yeah, you know,
it wasn't perfectly still.
I told you that I figured out a few amp boards that I had set aside that I'd just been putting off because I couldn't figure it out. And I wonder, I don't know if it's the diode that's killing that capacitor, or if it's an improper repair process that's killing the capacitor. You know what I mean? Like maybe we're using too much heat and killing it. I don't think so. It would just make more sense.
Though. I moved it and I hadn't set perfectly on top of the connector, so I was just able to put it back on properly, and then it fixed my issue with the 1 second blinking screen.
But see, that still told me enough to go and try that on a few boards with the same symptoms. Okay. Even though the capacitor wasn't missing, it was still there. Mm-hmm. But however it failed, it must be effectively the same as like in your situation where it's just not even there.
Yeah.
And causing the same thing. Now, I thought when I had tried this in the past, because people ask me all the time, can I try the HomePod with this or that missing? Generally, the answer is no. And generally the answer is also something else is going to break if you try. But last I recall, I tried without that capacitor and it would straight up not turn on at all. But maybe I wasn't looking close enough with you know, like how, like maybe I didn't tap it and see that it lit up for half a second, right? Maybe I waited too long before I tapped it, or I wasn't, maybe the lighting in the room wasn't right and I was using a white top and I just couldn't see it blinking for half a second. I don't know. But the fact of the matter remains, it was an issue on a few other amps I had.
Then I'm glad you were able to fix it based on my suggestion, even though I'm a nobody when it comes to repairs.
No, I need to. I thought I already added it on my website too. If not, then I gotta give you some credit for that.
I actually enjoy the chat being filled with that many people.
Lit?
Yeah. And we had 3 people join for the
Ooh. It's just you and me in the voice chat, yeah. Everyone's too scared to speak.
Stefan is called Stefan, I think. Hold on.
Where's the Sonic dude? Yes, the Sonic guy is Shuffle Hands. Before we fully reassemble this, I just wanted to sanity check that it at least turns on now before we give ourselves too much to undo if it doesn't work. I just want to see it turn on for a few seconds here. Yeah! That's what's up. We have, as Louis Rossman would put it, we have fan spin. And we already did the extra little bit of maintenance there. That was the first thing we did, was replacing those DC filters that love to go bad and cause death farts. So, a new subwoofer gasket to replace the old crappy foam stuff. If you've worked with speakers for any length of time, you certainly know that the first thing to go bad in a speaker is anything made of foam. One less reason for this to come back to us. I'm gonna replace that stripped screw. Yeah. Ooh, it's really stripped. Yeah, I don't want you getting screwed by that in the future. You or someone else.
So Jet stripped a screw. I see.
Yeah, but that's the only, besides the stripped screw and the missing capacitor, I didn't see anything else they did wrong.
Nick, they want you to bring your thermal camera on stream, please.
Let me... Where is it? The battery's dead. I need to charge it. I do love this phone. It will sit idling for weeks at a time on a single battery charge. I have zero complaints about it currently being dead. Yeah, we'll give that, like 10-15 minutes to charge up. If I try to turn it on as soon as, if I try to turn it on with a dead battery, even if it's on the charger, it underclocks itself so much it's not very usable. It's not the highest resolution or the fastest refresh rate, but it gets the job done and it points us to what's getting hot on a given board. And
I support the statement that you're the Lewis Rossman of the HomePod community.
I think I need to be. I think I need to be a little more alcoholic than for that, huh?
So you think he's an alcoholic?
Well, that used to be his thing, was freaking getting drunk and fixing MacBooks at 1 a.m.
Okay. I mean, sometimes you're streaming at 1 a.m. at least in my time, so I can see that. Bring the booze out.
I mean, I actually do stream sometimes at 1 a.m. drunk, fixing HomePods. So I mean, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, if you're looking for a Cat S62 Pro for yourself, you got to be careful because a lot of the sellers out there reselling the Cat smartphones, they just sell just whatever regular phone. They just flip phones regularly, but they don't know the difference between the different versions of this phone. Only the S62 Pro came with the thermal camera. And you have to know exactly what that looks like with the black camera lens. I went through 3 different purchases from 3 different eBay sellers trying to get my hands on that phone before I finally got one that was actually selling the device I expected. They have an S62 that is the non-pro version. It does not come with the thermal camera. Don't waste your money. You know, when you're single and you've got no kids, no wife, no one to hang out with or worry about, staying up till 1 a.m. fixing stuff does sound like the freaking life. But I'll be darned if I'm falling asleep by that time with everything else going on.
How's your housing situation now like?
Housing? I'm on the streets right now. I've got my desk out on the street. We're running solar panels and Starlink for internet.
So at least we can watch streams.
Oh, the stream,
the bridge.
The fixes must go on. No, we're probably going to be moving in about 60 to 90 days. I'm still waiting on an actual cash for keys offer from the new owner, right? Because they actually sold the house. The house sold within like less than a week of them putting it up for sale. And what's funny is literally nobody's been to the house. The new owners haven't been through the house. They've already sent surveyors to measure essentially how much land they can build on as soon as they come in here and bulldoze this house that we're living in now, as soon as we move out of it. Kinda crazy.
So, did you ever talk to the new owners if you can't stay, or do they want to have it as their own?
I have not spoken to the new owners, and they want us out as soon as they can afford it so they can build a new house here.
I mean, that's fair. But your house is based on the electricity line and stuff is shit.
Yeah, no, this house is falling apart. The electricity's bad. There's nothing good going for this house other than the location. And that's how it sold for like what, 1.2 million? Even though they're gonna immediately destroy this house and build a new one.
I'm having trouble connecting to...
Purely the location, man. It's crazy. Even crazier that they just sight unseen bought this property and they're just immediately going to bulldoze the house down. All right. We've gotten back into our standard issues here. It looks like this one hasn't been messed with. Just the usual no power caused by a dead diode on the amplifier. We'll get that taken care of along with some extras. What's my phone at? 6%? Yuck.
Jet said thank you for the very fast fix.
Oh yeah, of course. After seeing the initial damage, I was kind of expecting that to take a little more effort. I was kind of worried for a second there, but I mean, they stopped at the perfect point. I'm glad they stopped and they sent it into us instead of trying more and breaking more. Not that I don't encourage people trying to fix their own stuff, but it is its own kind of skill to know when to stop before you cause too much trouble for yourself or someone else. You know, before the point of no return. I can be kind of bad at that. I can very easily spend too much time or effort trying to figure something out by myself before I tap into another resource.
You know, JFix asked if the HomePods have schematics or board views available.
What is that?
Schematics.
Oh no.
For the HomePod.
No. You keep dreaming, man.
And Jet said it's exactly what I stopped repairing it.
Yeah, no schematics. Unfortunately for any of this, none of it's been leaked. No one's talked about any of it. It's not a popular enough product for anybody to really make a stink about it. As much as we love them here, it's not enough. For those curious, the liquid here, I call it Tim's Tears. Every time we fix a HomePod, it just magically fills itself up a little more. Consists mostly of isopropyl alcohol. Helps us with the glue holding this basket down. After we take the screws out, we gotta pry it off. But that makes it a little easier. Oh, is that Shuffle Hands? How long has he been here? Oh, he's been here for a minute.
For about 10 minutes. Yeah. We're talking into making a Discord account.
I mean, you don't have to convince him. It's his parents that stop him from it all, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he could download it on his computer or just use it from the browser on his computer.
Like, they've got to have it blocked on a... Oh no, they block the stuff on his phone. They don't block his network at a network level.
They think on a network level, isn't it just Apple control, like Apple phone controls?
Oh, what was that?
Isn't it just Apple family controls where you can't download that app?
Yeah, I don't know if they're using family controls and or a combination of something else provided by the carrier. It's a pretty common thing, at least in the US, where cell carriers offer additional like family protection things, like being able to restrict what they can do on their phone and when they can do things. Verizon's really big on it. Where's our thermal camera? 11%? That'll work.
Someone was just was timeout by Stefan.
Oh, what the heck? They weren't even spamming anything. They weren't even spamming anything like useful or like beneficial to them. They were just spamming for the sake of spamming.
I mean, it was a W. Maybe it's somebody's HomePod, and he's happy that.
Oh, maybe. I don't have any repairs under that name though.
Okay.
Uh-oh, we got an attention seeker. Mom, get the camera.
The average blitzer, there's a huge amount of screws in a HomePod. Like an absurd amount, especially for the gasket on top. I think there are way too many screws for that.
Yeah, it's like I counted with a coworker once. I don't remember the exact number. It was between 70 and 80 screws.
Holy. Well, Nick, what is the airflow set to?
We got it almost all the way maxed out here, 7.5 out of 8.
Okay.
And the temperature turned up.
Do you use the same for the diode?
Oh, say again? Same settings for the filters and the diode, yeah.
Okay. Because whenever I can put as much flux for that little capacitor next to the diode, it will fly off.
I don't understand how that happens to people. Like, people keep talking about
trust.
Yeah, like components fly. I have personally never had a component fly off of my board on its own. The only time components fly off or fly away is if I bump them. And when you bump them, that's when you break the surface tension that's holding them to the board through the melted solder. If you don't touch it, it shouldn't be flying anywhere. But maybe you also have you might also have a heat gun that has more airflow than mine.
Possible.
That's pushing more air. But as you can see, there's all sorts of small stuff nearby, and I can sit here all day and nothing's going anywhere until I touch it.
Women ask, thank you, wondering how hot that board is right now. Maybe the thermal camera will help us.
So that's about what it looks like here for you.
What's the temperature?
I know this isn't an ideal way to show you guys this camera, but you get some pretty. Oh, if I can get that. You know what? There. So you got your pretty typical FLIR features. You've got your measurement tools. You can add different points and drag those around. You can get your average in a given area, what have you.
What's the hottest area right now?
We're only at 145, or about 81 degrees Celsius.
Alright.
But it's lost almost all of its heat that we put into it already. Let's get that diode replaced. That's what we're here for. Yeah, I'll even put a whole bunch of flux on that guy there. She ain't going nowhere. We just keep tapping it until we see the solder start to squeeze out. That tells us that it's melted. And we can push it straight down. It'll fall off the board. Come on, FLIR. So that's what that looks like. I accidentally hit my death fart button, sorry. Alright. Nah, I mean once you deleted their messages and timed them out the first time, they're not probably coming back and bothering anymore. They've moved on to some other channel to mess with. Stefan, what's wrong with your ears?
Because of the death fart. Right now I'm thinking about quitting my current job since it's to the end of July, because it's limited until the end of August anyway, and fly to the US next month for 2 or 3 weeks.
Why don't you just work out through the end of your contract and use the extra money?
I have a new work contract starting on September 1st, so I have to do it wrong this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I remember you saying where you were going in the last stream. Nowhere near me, at least.
Yeah, no, Alabama, North Carolina, Florida.
Yeah. Those are kind of those are interesting picks. Is there any reason behind them?
I have like close friends in all three places.
Oh, okay. I'm not close
And
enough. I'm not close enough.
I mean, if you're willing to offer me a stay to sleep, then sure, but
No, I don't want to mess with your plans, and I don't want to put that on my wife.
yeah, I get that. And my new job is digitalization and climate protection officer for town hall, like close to like 30 minutes away from where I live. I'm basically doing IT support and installing smart electricity meters.
Nice.
Yeah. It's still like a limited job contract, but it's for 3 years, full time. So, and it's basically for the government. And job in September, so it's a secure job. And I'm pretty sure if I'm going to do a good enough job, they're going to permanently hire me afterwards.
I have not tried a P2 Pro thermal camera yet. The only thermal camera that I have tried is my Cat S62 Pro, and I'm quite happy with it. I've no desire of buying another thermal camera or replacing it anytime soon. Sorry to totally different topic. Sorry, Marvin. Someone was asking about the thermal camera and it reminded me.
No worries.
One useful feature that I found with my thermal camera was being able to see where the studs are in the wall of my house, or the ceiling of my house. I kept trying to use a classic stud finder that you stick on the wall and slide around until it beeps at you. I could not, for the life of me, get reliable readings. So I pointed my thermal camera at the ceiling, and because the material and the density of the struts, or the studs, are different than the drywall, you basically see these slightly cooler blue lines across the ceiling on the thermal camera when you point your thermal camera at the ceiling. It's basically like it's so cool. It's like an X-ray camera. You see right through your walls and see where the studs are. I was able to figure out where I could hang my speakers from the ceiling with that.
That's nice.
Very handy. Yowie Wowie suggests that I sell a screwdriver. You know, before Linus Tech Tips collabed and made his screwdriver, I had wanted to make one. But now you've got the iFixit kit, which that's my go-to, and that's frankly what I would be recommending to everybody, unless I came out with essentially the exact same thing with my name on it. Though, I would like to make a screwdriver kit that came with extra long, high-quality bits, so that you could really reach in there. Because I noticed that a lot of the screwdriver kits, I mean, essentially every single one of them out there, come with these normal length bits. Works for most jobs, but screws you when you got to get something that's really deep in there. For example, some of the screws inside of the second-gen HomePod, you are not going to be able to reach with the standard length bits. And if you try, you're going to barely get it. And it's going to be just enough to give you a bite and enough confidence until you strip the thing. And then you're a real happy camper. But I don't know. I guess we have 3,000 subscribers now. We're popular enough. We can start grifting, right? Is that what you're supposed to do? Is that the protocol? Oh, you like the electric one? This is made by Miniware. It is the ES15. They've made a newer version since. I haven't tried it. On paper it looks to be identical, slightly improved, so you should be as happy with it as I am with this. My only complaint is, well, two complaints. One, it seems like the motors that you get have an inconsistent power output. Like, you might get one screwdriver that has more torque than another one that you get from the same exact batch. My other problem is the button. They use the solder for the button. The joints are cold, so the button stops working and you got to resolder it. But once you fix the button and you've gotten one that has a good motor in it, it's great. You're set. I love it. I don't know if they addressed that with the second gen. But oh, you do the trick where you knock on the wall and hear for the hollow versus not hollow. Yeah, that works so well until it doesn't, and you've poked 3 holes in your wall because you thought it sounded, because you were certain, and it definitely sounds less hollow. But what the heck? Where's the stud? No. I like the knock method, but I'm gonna knock it. It's not infallible, and it will very often lead you astray. And you will never catch any professional contractor ever doing that. Like, maybe just to get them into a general area, but they're always going to fall back on an actual tool that tells them or shows them where the studs are. Very good, very nice. I'm gonna step away for just a second here while these boot up.
So I'm taking over stream now. What do you guys want to talk about? Hey.
You talking smack, Marvin?
I'm having
No, I
trouble
didn't.
connecting
I
to
just
the
said that I'm taking over the stream now.
Oh.
For as long as you want, and that's what the people wanted to talk about.
A random pair of hands just appears in the stream and starts working on stuff.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Alright, so we've got Jamal here with some kind of bad bass. Let's see if we can't hear what they're talking about. Ooh, yeah. We've got some bad filters. I can already hear it. Let's get that fixed. I was joking about it earlier, but We might actually clear this queue before Stefan gets back. Did he? Oh, he is back. He's been back.
He was back the whole time.
He's been back. He's just not chatting as much as I'm used to.
Yeah.
There's so many other people in the chat. What a great day. Say something, Stefan. I'm concerned about you. He's like already gone and doxed that spammer from a few minutes ago, and he's like on his way now to like kick their door down. No, I didn't forget about you, Stefan.
I think I'm gonna pick up another broken HomePod next week. They're selling it for 70, or best offer go for 50 euros or 60, but it's like pickup only, and it's like 3 hours away. But I'm there for my like close because of my work.
That's about I would be happy paying that much for a broken one all day.
Yep.
Even $70 and I had to go pick it up, I'd be happy with that. I've been having to pay more than that routinely recently.
No, I get it, but they don't ship it out. And for me to just drive 2 or 3 hours and then back, then I could get $100 HomePod instead, because with the gas prices are so high here.
Yeah, and you drive. You won't take the. There isn't a good route with public transit.
No.
Damn.
I'd be probably 2 or 3 hours. Like with a high-speed train, yes, but that's gonna cost me $100 at least round trip. But since I'm there for work, like close, like probably like 15 miles away, I'm gonna take my chances then.
What did y'all do today? I worked. I woke up, I worked, and then I packed and shipped a couple of things, and well, here we are. I didn't do anything exciting at work today. I just did a bunch of document reviews. Yeah, Stefan had a big day. He got some cool free phones. Kinda jealous. The wife is home. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's at least get this one finished. And then we'll see how much time we got.
How's the wife doing?
She's doing pretty good. She got accepted for the job. She starts like end of this month.
That's great.
That's really good.
How's she gonna do?
I'm not at liberty to talk about it. I'll let her say what she wants to about it, but she's
Just
going to be
in what
doing.
sector is the job?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you that much. She's going to be doing. How can I put it? I mean, it's in retail, kind of tech support.
Okay.
We'll see what they ultimately, what position they ultimately put her in.
I'm happy.
It pays her $10 an hour more than what I used to make. It pays pretty good, and it's part-time, so we're not going to be killing ourselves trying to split our time up between my two jobs and the kid, eh?
Wait, your two jobs? Do you mean your main job and the HomePod repair, or
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
have
yeah.
another job?
No. That's exactly what I mean.
Okay. Because having multiple jobs is kind of American.
That's
An
kind of
American thing.
yeah. That's just kind of like the thing now. Like half of my coworkers at my day job have a second job.
Oh, word.
Like one of our support guys works at freaking Geek Squad.
Wow.
I'm kind of jealous too. Like I always wanted to work. Well, not anymore, but I used to want to work at Geek Squad all the time.
In Germany, like having like a full-time job and a part-time job would be so stupid because you'd pay an incredible amount of extra taxes on the second job. You'd be on a way higher tax bracket for the second job. So what you can do is like, it's called a mini job, which is like you can earn like 500 euros each month extra without tax and without healthcare deduction. But other like a proper job as an additional part-time job would be stupid here.
Right, because it's not like you're not making money, technically speaking, but the effort to make that extra money, you're paying so much in taxes from the higher bracket that it's just, like what's the point, right?
Yep. Let's see how much they actually take out. I think it's like just 60% in taxes or something for the second job. So if your second job pays around 2,000, they would take between 35 and 45% out of it.
Hmm.
And if you make over 3,000, it would be up to 50%.
Hmm.
And to be honest, like the Apple Store job, I would have been full time and I would have made 2,300 before tax and health, like Social Security.
A month?
Not a lot of jobs. Yeah, a month. Not a lot of jobs. You make over 3K. Like the job I'm starting at the town hall is paying me 3,750 every month before tax, and after tax I'm getting like 2,300 out of it. So they tax and health, like Social Security, is like 1,400 for that job.
Man, it is kind of funny to me that you pay taxes on work for the city hall. I mean, it makes sense, but it is still kind of funny to be like giving, essentially more or less giving them back 30% of your paycheck.
The thing is, hold on, let me look up the English word for it. Like, if you're an official, like I don't have a better word for it. Like a public official,
Sure.
You'd have to have study with a public government institution, or like doing a 3-year apprenticeship. Then you could become a public servant or a public official, and then you wouldn't have to pay taxes.
Huh.
I think. I'm not sure. Let me look that up. I don't want to publish false news.
Well, I'm about to move to Germany based on this information, so it better be correct.
You'd still have to pay taxes.
Oh, I mean, I'm not surprised.
But it works like healthcare and Social Security for like public servants works differently than for like regular employees.
Where's my mouse? I won't, like I said before, I won't confirm or deny. If you keep asking me where she works, I'm not going to say she does or doesn't work there. I'm just going to ignore it. But that said, you're right, shuffle hands. And
Wait,
nobody saying, don't say anything.
I'm not saying anything. I know how their company works.
But shuffle hands is
I
right.
don't even know if
Just don't tell anyone. I just want to respect what she wants. She doesn't want anyone to know, and she told me that after I told you guys. So I want to try to keep it that way. But it's between you and me. And anybody else that caught it before I deleted it.
I mean, my son. They're very secretive, so I get it.
Nah, it's not them.
Supposed to tell them.
It's not them whatsoever. My wife just doesn't want people bugging her at work. You know, like we're not that big, but like I'm sure there's someone out there who will come across our channel, hear that we have a wife, and want to bug my wife at work.
Oh, shit, yeah, right.
And also like people
here.
Plenty of people have had negative experiences around like stalkers and like just by default you should want to share as little information about yourself to strangers on the internet. It's a little different for me. I run a business and I tell you what the business is, and you guys are watching it, and it's all public info, but that's different.
I mean, you don't show your face either, so.
Oh, we show our. I don't purposefully show my face, but. And I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of a cameo here and there. A little jump scare for you folks never reduced your life expectancy.
I'm just letting you know that I just typed in Nick's Fix into Google, and it gives a little summary based on your website, and it says the customer service email is moonrepair.de.
Yeah.
On the Google website.
Google's AI overview is trash. It also says that my competitor Mintech is run by me.
Okay. I'm gonna report it as inaccurate content, and I'm giving them the real email.
Yeah, the reason why it does that is because that is a repair shop based in Germany that I have listed on my website, and that's just the AI. I think that's probably the email that the AI first noticed before mine. Why would the contact email be from the same domain as the website? That would make too much sense, right? It's got to be from a totally different domain from a totally different country. That's the one.
Don't hate me, but your website, the website is also not very well.
Oh, I know. You've said that. Well, see, it's a mix.
Yeah.
Like half the people. Well, not to toot my own horn, but the majority of people very much like the website design.
Okay.
But I do understand from the perspective of someone that's looking for the information to fix a specific problem with their HomePod, or more so just looking for any kind of specific piece of info on the website. Unless you know where it's at or what it's under, you're looking for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then my other big complaint is, it's a small one, but it's a small bug. It's like whenever you navigate to the website, if you were linked to a section on the website, when you click the link and go to that section of the website, it like shifts everything up. And so you're not actually looking at what you were linked to. But most people don't
Maybe
even
it would help
notice.
if you had like an imprint. Like that's something German websites usually have to do. They have like a special page on the website with contact details. Maybe if you do that, maybe Google would find your email, because I'm having trouble finding your email.
I'm having
I
trouble
see a
connecting to the
PayPal email, but I don't know if that's your email people contact you at.
No, I had to do that to reduce the amount of spam.
Okay.
Having your email address in plain text on your website is a surefire way to get overwhelmed with a bunch of garbage.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
But all you have to do is click the contact me button or the email me button, and it's hyperlinked. It's there, but it's not in plain text. It's admittedly not the easiest or user-friendly thing. Yeah. Alright, we've got 3858 here. Did I tell 3858 that we were... No, I did not. Alright, I think this is going to be the last one we work on today.
Dan is in the chat, by the way. And now you're leaving.
Dang. Maybe we can fix these. Let me go talk to my wife real quick.
I wouldn't mind if he goes off right now because I'm going to sleep soon. I have work tomorrow.
All right. You guys are in luck.
Is it a good mood? Yeah.
We can keep going for another just under an hour and a half. I think we can fix everything if we lock it in. No, see, Stefan. I said I was going to clear the queue before you got back. But you got back. You came back. You weren't supposed to come back. Subsequently, I wasn't supposed to be able to finish the queue. But here we all are. I suppose we'll give it a good honest effort. I promised the wife we're done by 4 o'clock. That gives us an hour and 20 minutes. I think we got this.
Yeah, easily.
I mean, if we got 3 fixed in under an hour, ooh, man, it'll be cutting it tight, but we gotta keep it under 20 minutes for each of these.
Maybe if your daughter is old enough, you can make her help you and take it apart and fix it with a heat gun.
That's the dream. Or at least stick her on emails. Like, if that isn't like 3 to 5 hours of my day is doing emails and text messages for people. It's insane how much time I have to eat up just on correspondence. And I even have most of my replies like canned, which feels awful. I love having a personal touch to these repairs and giving people like personal communication and not just copying and pasting my responses, but it's getting to that point. I hate it. But most people don't seem to care. Most people just want their stuff fixed. They literally do not care. Heck, if it takes me longer than a day to respond to someone, there's a good chance that they get back to me and say, "Oh, sorry, you took too long. I went with someone else to fix it." And it's like, who else did you get to fix it? Like, seriously.
For your price point, probably nobody.
Well, there's one other guy out there, but he doesn't have a great reputation going for himself. Okay. But you won't know that unless you do your research. Why not get AI automation to reply to my emails? I've played with it. I've been trying to get it to work. It's the thing is to make sure that it's doing what I need it to do for everyone, I have to essentially supervise it. And the effort that it takes to supervise it's going to take as much effort as it is for me to just do it myself. I mean, I would basically have to quantify my entire brain and personal experience into code and automate that somehow if I want it to work the way that I really want it to. But at the same time, I mean, if I preface those responses with "this is an AI automated response," most people will probably understand. On the flip side, a lot of people will see that it's an AI generated response and they won't use us based on that principle.
Yep.
I'm not one of those people.
To be fair.
Like, I'm not gonna not use you just because you use AI, but I do think it's a bit of a shortcut or a lazier, easier way out. If it works and it produces good results, then great. But from what I've seen just over and over again, it tends to produce mostly good results, but with enough junk that it takes too much work to really work without just doing it on your own. We're getting there. I'll charge a premium if you want to talk to me as a person instead of my AI version. You think I'm paying someone to make an AI automation for me? Get out of here. If there's one thing that I'm good at, it's trying too hard at making something work for myself when there are many solutions out there that you could pay for to do it for you. I mean, like, I could have paid somebody like a couple grand to make my website and easily saved myself weeks and weeks and weeks of time and effort making it work the way I want and fixing all the bugs. But then I wouldn't know how to do what I did. And I wouldn't know how to fix it if anything broke. I'd be reliant on whoever made it for me in the first place.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Gonna make you pay a bunch of money to have such small stuff changed.
No, you want, honey, we are, Mom, I want a website. We have websites at home. We have website design at home.
I mean, what you could use AI for is people like on your website or whatever have a bot that's where you can type in what issues you're having and link them to whatever.
I can't trust that because far too many times people will reach out to me with a fundamental misunderstanding of what their issue is and subsequently inaccurately describe or try to relay what the problem is. There's a lot of interpretation and sometimes guesswork involved in replying to someone's inquiry. A lot of it can be coded and they don't realize that they're even, that they're saying the wrong thing. It's the same thing with buying broken HomePods off eBay, right? Like half the time these sellers don't even know what they're selling, let alone how to accurately describe what's wrong with it. So what may be no power to one person, to someone like me, is clearly the thing's lighting up. It turns on. What do you mean no power? Oh, well, I couldn't actually do anything with it. All it does is light up, but it's not turning on,
Oh yeah.
That and the other thing. It happens all the time. So the last thing I would want is for automation to misguide half my customers and not just screw them over, but then I'm lost out of that business and they'll look for someone else, maybe even, or they'll try to fix it themselves based on misguided info and set themselves further back, and then it's my responsibility, or at least I feel obligated, at the very least, to set them right.
That's fair.
You should purposefully make your website look like straight out of the 2000s. See, there's enough of that out there. There's already enough people and businesses and stuff out there that like knock off the old school aesthetic. Like, I don't see anybody out there with the balls to knock off a company's current modern aesthetic and say, hey, these guys messed up, we can fix it. Like, I think I get quite a huge kick out of more or less knocking off Apple's original HomePod website. It's not an old design. It's not an outdated design. Even though it's approaching 10 years old now, it doesn't look outdated whatsoever. But I kind of like the idea of poking at the big guy. I'm kind of surprised they haven't bothered us, but I suppose if we're not bothering them too much, they're not gonna, we're not affecting their sales at the end of the day, right? Why not just drop a bunch on advertising for our business? The last thing I need is more business. I love the business. Don't get me wrong. But I'm a one-man shop trying to fix as much as I can in between my day job and my wife and kid. So we are not hurting for business by any means. The last thing I need to do is advertise and try to get more people so they can wait longer for their stuff to get fixed. If it gets to the point where I'm not getting stuff in my mailbox every day, I would probably consider advertising. But we've fixed more than 4,000 of these things by now. Thousands of people that we've made happy. With between word of mouth, I'm not worried about it. Anytime soon, at least. We can do this. We can do this. We got to get this thing back together in the next 8 minutes to stay on track. But that's plenty of time. I think.
Nick, would you mind pronouncing your last name, like how you say it, or is it like private?
Splatstozer.
Okay.
Splatstozer. Yeah, that's the American pronunciation. I don't speak German, so I can't give you an authentic accent. You know it's a German.
Yeah, I do. Well, in German, I would pronounce it Stadtstöße. Oh, he's gone. No, he isn't German. He has German ancestors. His last name is German, though. He's American. Come on. I'm German, though. Marvin in the Discord chat is German.
Hold on. I missed, are we still streaming? We are. Okay.
Yeah, we are.
The power went out, so, I managed to flip it. I managed to flip it before things disconnected.
Oh, Lord.
I missed everything for the past, 60 seconds. I'm sorry.
No worries. All good.
You were saying someone's German.
Thought you were German, and I explained. Yeah, I pronounce your last name in German.
Oh, I missed it.
It's Splatzstöße.
Yeah. You can't even try to pronounce it without a grin, huh? It's kind of
because
schlappy.
the first part is not very like the last part, the second part of the word Stößer, Stoesser, is like that's completely German, but the first, like the S and the T doesn't roll, like for that word don't fit. Like I don't know how to explain it. We have words that start with SP, but usually after the SP there's like an A, O, U or something. But you have an L, so I don't know how to explain it properly. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what you.
But it is German.
It is yeah. It means it translates to cart pusher.
I never even heard of the first part of your name in German. Yeah. Hold on, let me.
I don't even have any German in my blood. Like, I'm not even German. It's purely in the name. My last name comes from my dad, of course, but my dad was adopted. So that was his name. That was his last name given by his adoptive parents, which are of course German. But that means I don't have any German blood in me. I'm more Pacific Islander and Irish than anything else. So I'm an American with a German last name, with Pacific Islander and Irish blood. But I mean, you talk to most people in America, and I feel like you're gonna get a similar story. They've got an ethnic last name that doesn't match their blood nor their current citizenship.
Yeah.
But I think that's cool.
I don't know. Us Europeans have a little issue with people. You don't do it, but a lot of Americans claim, "Oh my God, I'm German, I'm Italian." Like they full on. They don't say, "Okay, my grandma was German," and they claim they're German. And then I had this happen in North Carolina. The girl was like, "Oh my God, I'm German," and then of course I started speaking German. She was like, "Oh."
Oh no, I don't know what you're saying. Like.
Yeah.
No, I feel filthy enough as it is mentioning what's in my blood, because I can't honestly relate or genuinely relate to anything other than being a white American in Washington. Like, I don't know what being a Pacific Islander is like. I don't know what being Irish is like. And like my parents, for example, I think my stepdad is like part Native American, but I don't hear him using that like as a talking point for anything or anywhere. Like, it's just that's part of what he is, but like he's not using that as a point to argue for or against anything. And that's because he wasn't personally a freaking Native American.
Yeah. Well, I have a German citizenship, like I'm a German citizen, and my ancestors have lived here for the past 600 years. I belong to a group of a minority here in Germany. Like, I'm a gypsy. And
no way!
Stefan's alarm bells go on because in Eastern Europe they hate, like, all of Europe hates gypsies, but especially in Eastern Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, some people just really have it out against you guys too.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. For a lot of people, like, I understand it.
Yeah, I mean,
not necessarily the people native, like the native gypsies from Germany, but the people that come from Eastern Europe to Germany, those are the ones doing all the crime. Like, they bring bad light on the people that have been living here for 600 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the case with anything, right? Like, you've got X group of people that have been representing themselves perfectly fine for so long, and then some outsider comes in, claims that they're part of the group, and starts making you look bad. Well, you're as much of a German as as you can call yourself.
I don't. The thing is, I identify as a transformer at this point because I don't fit in with the gypsy community because I'm educated and it's very rare to have educated gypsies, unfortunately, especially the part of gypsies I'm from. But I also don't identify as a German because I don't watch or listen to German stuff. I don't find German jokes funny at all. I hate it so much. And I can't identify as an American, even though I'm very, very much influenced by their culture. And I mean, my English is pretty damn good, I think. Because I'm not an American. I'm not a citizen. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know. If you were to hop into a random voice chat, as an American myself, if you didn't outright say that you weren't American, I would just naturally assume that you were just another, American in the chat. You don't sound particularly German or accented or anything.
Yeah.
But I've also never, I don't have a whole lot of exposure to different accents, and I mean maybe you do have a German accent that's super thick, and I don't pick up on it because I don't know what that sounds like.
I don't trust me.
I mean, I know you don't, but like maybe you've got like those like obvious giveaways, like every language and everybody that learns a primary language that they speak in their house. Do you let me ask you this, do you primarily speak English or German more often?
I grew up bilingual, so I speak the Gypsy language and German. Those are my native languages, and English is actually my fourth one. I studied French before I studied English.
Interesting.
But I don't speak French.
See that? Oh, wow, that's even more interesting. So you don't speak French, you learned it before English, but you sound like you spoke English since the day you were born.
Yeah.
See, that's what I think. I think that is really fascinating and kind of cool about. Sorry to talk smack about, I guess, Americans, but it seems like in other countries they tend to educate their kids by default bilingually, and that I mean, once you already know two languages, it's so much easier to pick up on any more. But and they force you in many schools in America to take a second language, but I don't think they take it as seriously as they do in other countries. I mean, I can't speak the 3 years of Spanish I was taught, and that's the only second language I learned. But you were probably speaking two languages as well as I was speaking one when I was by the time I could speak one.
Well, yeah. But the UK also has a little issue. They don't tend to learn another language. So it's an English, I assume it's an English-speaking thing, because a lot of Brits, they don't speak another language, apart from like maybe Welsh, if they're local from Wales. But in Germany, you either, like, I also know some people got out of the second language requirement in high school, in the US high schools, by taking American Sign Language, which I honor that, but it's an easy way out of learning another language.
Ah, man. I wonder, I would be okay with that if, and it very well may be that learning sign language as a second language is as effective as just learning a second spoken language. I have a feeling it might be, but also like I guess not really because it's still in. Well, I guess you learn American Sign Language, so it's going to be in English, but kind of cheating. I guess it's more like learning a language and a half.
I think so too. I'm pretty sure it also helps creating new connections in your brain. Like I don't want to put it down.
Oh yeah. But it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you're more so just supplementing the language that you already know and not learning a new one, right?
Yeah. But in Germany or in most of Europe, Stefan said in Serbian school they have English, Serbian, and German. So yeah.
Do you have to take all three, or do you only have to learn one or the other?
I was required to have to be able to go and attend university. I think I don't want to lie, and it also depends on the states. Every state has their own school laws in Germany. I think you have to learn a third language or at least the basics of it. I don't want to lie though, so don't. Stefan said you have to take all three. And Nick, I learned the English sounds before I learned the language, because I was always singing as a kid, and it mostly was English songs. I learned how to pronounce and mimic the songs the people were singing.
Oh, see, that's
before
something.
I learned the actual words.
What is German culture like as far as like movies and music and that kind of stuff? Is it mostly German stuff with the occasional popular American content, or is it mostly popular American content with a mix of the one-off German hits?
It's mostly American.
Interesting.
Of course, sometimes if it's like rappers, it's not even American. It could be English too. But there's popular artists in Germany that have German music and rap in German.
Sure.
And a lot of the charts are actually English.
So like you turn on the TV or the radio, and the likeliness is you're more likely going to hear an American content than German content.
Based on music, yes. On actual like shows, everything is dubbed here. Like it's actually like the dubbing in Germany is really good. They actually look at for example, the show Friends. The German
voice actors,
like stations.
Oh.
Or exactly, they look at the character of that person in that show, and they look for a voice that fits. They don't put a random voice on it.
Sure.
They look for a voice that fits.
I can't get over. I mean, on the topic of dubs, I don't like dubs, so I would personally rather listen to the original audio track and read subtitles than listen to a dub. Just because I notice that the original audio track tends to have more accurate and higher quality background and sound effects, and just it's more, it gives me more of an accurate experience for what I'm supposed to get from the movie that the director intended than a dub where
don't underestimate German like synchronizing dubbing community. They actually do a very, very, very good job with the sound effects and everything.
Well, yeah,
it's
but like
high quality.
It is high quality. Don't get me wrong, but like when you do a side-by-side comparison, unfortunately, the bigger budget studio's gonna triumph with the original audio than the third party that's making the dubs and recreating all of it, right? But I guess it depends also on
I don't know.
on who's watching and how they ultimately feel. Like, you might get more out of hearing it out of your natural dub than me hearing the sound effects in the background.
The thing is with actual German dubs, like my English skills actually got a lot better. Do you remember the show Fringe? It was like Fringe Cases of the FBI.
I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but the name sounds familiar. I think I can follow along.
So back in the 2010s, it took a whole year for a new season to come out in Germany because of the dubbing process. I finished season 2, and season 3 just came out in the US. So I rewatched season 1 and 2 in English and started season 3. And from then, I watched everything in English. And the thing is with German dubs, like for example, Leonardo DiCaprio or whoever, if it's like a big name, that person that dubs him continues dubbing every single movie, so we recognize the actors by their voice.
That's neat. Okay, see, I can get behind that. That's some next level effort.
And what I noticed watching that show Fringe, that the German dub is actually clearer because the people were standing in front of the mic dubbing it. Versus on set, the microphone is out just above the camera, and sometimes the audio wasn't as good as the German version.
See, I think one place that AI could be really useful is when you've got a piece of visual content that has an audio dub. One thing that really ruins the experience for me is you can't fake the mouth movements. Like you just, it's a different language. It's gonna not match up to what's being spoken, and it throws me off too much. It can be very distracting. I think AI could be really useful where it could automatically edit, kind of visually, visual effects edit the mouth movements to sync with any given audio dub. That would be pretty.
I think there's plans for that, but to be fair, the German, like when they write the script in German, they try to match the mouth movement as closely as possible. So when the mouth is moving, the actor, the dubbing actor, is speaking.
So you're
like,
yeah. But I'm not. I'm talking about literally when someone says the. I'm expecting the mouth movements for the word the, not just the timing, but like the actual. It looks a specific way when someone says a specific word.
Yeah. But the German media companies actually do a very great job. Like, it doesn't bother you. Like, I've seen other languages where it sucked, but the German, like, as much as I hate the German language and the German dubbing, the quality, and they take care of, like, they pay attention to that stuff. Like, it doesn't bother you as much. The thing that bothered me, though, is that jokes, for example, in SpongeBob, sometimes don't make sense.
Yeah, that was another thing. It's like, what cultural references do you miss out on, too?
Yeah. For example, in English, one scene of SpongeBob was like, ghost, and then toast, like the bread.
Yeah.
And in German it was like Geister, Weißbrot, so white bread. That's what it translated toast to, and that made me mad. It was so stupid of a translation. Yeah. And it didn't make sense in that context.
How far are we into this one? Let's see, it's 3:14. We're almost done with this one. We're on track. We're a minute or so ahead.
I think I saw some Arabic or Spanish dubbing where they don't even like show the emotions that the person on the screen is showing in their language, like in the dubbing. The Germans actually like show emotions in their voice too when dubbing. So it's very, very, very professional. But what I hated was also in the latest, what's the name? I'm blacking out right now. I can't remember snack. In the latest Deadpool movie, there were some like jokes, like American pop culture jokes, that German people wouldn't understand, and they translated it, and it was bad.
Ooh, Deadpool of all movies too, yeah. I can imagine that. Ah!
Unfortunately, my friends didn't want to see the English play of it, so I had to go through the German one. I think I told you I used to work at the food court on a U.S. military base here, right?
Yeah!
That one time, I was serving a customer and the phone rang from the bakery I was working at, and I went ahead and picked up, talking German. And then the guy listened in and came back to the counter and was like, "How do you speak such good German?" I was like, "I am German, that's why." Stefan ripped the Touch ID cable on the 7.
No! Alright, we've got this fella fixed. We are nearing the end. We've got 2 more here. We should have plenty of time to get these done, but let's cruise through them. 3243 with no power. Wow. Oh man. Autism can be fun sometimes. What do we got here? No lights, no power. The usual draw from the wall. It's gonna be another dead diode. Speed run.
You said you were living in Seattle for the second part of your life. Where did you live before?
Spokane, other side of the state. Closer to Shuffle Hands.
Okay, so still West Coast.
So I was living on the east side of the state, and then I moved to towards the west side of the state. We're not on the west coast, and I never was on the west coast.
Well,
So like you've got Washington, right? You've got Washington.
Yeah.
Here's Bellevue. Here's Seattle. Here's Spokane. I used to live here,
Okay.
and then I moved over here. And then you've got the west coast over here.
I get it, but your state is on the west coast. I thought you did some more.
Oh yeah.
Florida.
No. Yes, you're right.
Florida to Russia.
I see what you're saying. You were totally right. We're a west coast state. Best coast. We don't associate with those guys on the other side.
I mean, I haven't been to Florida yet. That's what I'm planning. I plan to visit Tampa.
Yeah, and that's
North.
what I would do too. I wouldn't want to. No offense, I wouldn't want to live there though. It'd be fun to visit. It's
I haven't been there, so I can't speak. I really enjoyed North Carolina when I went.
It's just the natural disasters by itself freak me out enough. Like, it seems like they get hurricanes at least every year.
Oh yeah.
They get some kind of natural disaster that comes through and wrecks half the state's stuff.
But the thing is, I don't understand why you guys build your houses out of cardboard, like, especially in areas where that occurs.
I couldn't tell you. I don't build them either. I would love for them all to be built out of better materials with air conditioning as well, but
I mean, we have freaking brick houses in Germany, and we don't have natural disasters often like that. I mean, there's floodings sometimes in some parts of Germany, but
yeah, I couldn't tell you.
and I'm pretty sure a tornado couldn't take out our houses.
The only time you see the long plates in America shuffle hands is when someone isn't doing something legally. There's no place or state or any waiver or anything that would legally allow you to run a non-standard shaped license plate on your car in America. The closest thing I can think of is an exception to the rule. In certain states, you still have to go to the DMV to get it done, but if you obtain the license plates from the same year that your vehicle is manufactured, and it's a collector vehicle, and the collector vehicle is defined as being X amount of years old. In Washington, it's like 20 or 25 years or something. But in that case, you can run the original plates that the car would have shipped with in America. As far as I know, there's no way to legally run plates that are from other countries. Even if you import the car, you have to get an American plate to run it. So if you see anybody running around with plates that aren't that are from another country, They might be up to no good. Or they might just be seeking some extra attention. Oh, and they can't, depending on the state, they can't be replica plates either. They have to be original.
So, if they're original, you guys can have wrong plates, like us?
Did you say long or front?
No, in general, we were talking about, in Europe we have those ugly-ass plates with white background, black letters, and they're long.
Yeah. No, there's no circumstance in America that you're going to be able to run one of those.
Okay.
As far as I know. I mean, there might be a state somewhere that has some weird exception. And then, depending on what state you live in, different states may or may not require a front plate. So every state requires a plate on the back of your car. But some states only don't require a plate on the front of your car. And that can be awkward when you drive from one state that doesn't require one to a state that does require one. And then you got cops on your ass until they see the state that you're from.
And it's okay?
Oh yeah, it's perfectly fine after that. Like if you're from, let's say, I think Texas is a state that you don't need a front plate, and you drive your car from Texas to Washington, you're all good. You're still fine. You're totally fine. What are you supposed to do? Go back to Texas and get a front plate and then come back? No. They've got that much sense at least. And the toll booths, the toll lanes, they'll what's interesting is they default to trying to get your plate from the front of your vehicle, but if they can't read the front, then they'll do the rear. Even though, you know, not every state requires a front plate.
But in Germany, the most important plate is actually is the one in the front. If you speed and you get flashed by the camera, it's always going to be from the front. You also have your face on the picture they sent you.
See, like that doesn't make sense to me because not all car manufacturers or not all cars have provisions for plates on the front. Every single car,
they have to have.
Everything has a provision for a plate on the back. But I've never seen a car with provisions for plates on the front and not the back. It's always been back and front or back, not front only.
You have to have both, but the most important one in Germany at least is the front one because if
that's
you get a speeding ticket,
that's what they see.
Stationary, yeah, that's what they take a picture of. But you have to have one in the back and the front.
Well, I'm sure they take a picture of both. They have to.
No.
I mean, it can't seriously be that easy to circumvent your traffic cameras by not having a front plate.
I mean, you can do that, but
you're gonna get pulled over.
Fines way higher.
Yeah, you're gonna get caught.
No, even if you're taking off your front license plate, they're not gonna take a picture of the back, ever. But you're gonna get in a big trouble if you take off the license plate and get flashed multiple times.
And see, I've been driving. So in Washington, if you register your vehicle as a classic or a collectible car, it has to be more than 25 years old. But you don't have to run front plates. You only have to have the rear plate. I haven't gotten around to registering my Japanese Import Z, the right-hand drive, as a collector vehicle. I currently just have it registered as any other daily driver on the road. So I was issued front and rear plates. And in Washington, you legally have to run front and rear plates unless you're registered as a collector's vehicle that doesn't come with front plates from the factory. I have been running with no front plate for the past year and a half since I got that car. And I haven't been bothered once. And I don't know if that's just the cops being lazy. They just don't want to pull me over just to tell me to put a front plate on. But yeah, it kind of speaks for the whole, like, you know, whenever, I don't know if you've ever watched an interaction with a cop and someone else and heard them say something along the lines of, well, I saw you do it, or I watched it happen, or I witnessed it, so I have to give you a ticket, or I have to hold you, I have to do X action because I saw this happen, kind of thing. Like, they play that card all the time, and then they turn around and I'm driving without a front plate for a year and a half. Or expired tabs on the other car for 2 years, or whatever. And it's the same excuses that they use to pull certain people over that they don't pull other people over because they just don't feel like it, or they do feel like it.
Yeah. Well,
whack.
In Germany, it's also illegal to have like the turning signals on the whole time. It's only used for like turning. You guys have your turning signals on and they blink whenever you use the turning, like the thing.
Yeah.
That is illegal in Germany, and also it's illegal, I think, also in all of Europe to have red back turning signals.
Yeah. Different
However,
countries have different like legality behind like the colors of the heads and the taillights and the turn signals. Yeah.
Yeah. However, because we have the U.S. military base here, here in my area at least, you won't get a ticket if you have that. If they stop you and they see that you're German, they can give you one. But my friend has turned on basically daylight lights, his turning signals on his BMW, on his German BMW. And he's never got pulled over by the cops because we have the U.S. military here.
So wait, but you can still turn like physically in your car, it still has the option to turn the turn signal on and it stays on indefinitely, right?
No, he had to like program it with a
wait,
OBD.
so you're telling me, I know what you mean with the BMW and the software to reprogram it to make it think it's in a different country or enable different codes for features, but you're telling me the German car does not let you turn your turn signal on and it will just stay on until you complete the turn and it turns itself off? Or
that will turn off, but you guys have your guys' turning signals are used as daylight lights sometimes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
That's illegal here.
Interesting. Okay.
But my friend didn't get pulled over because
well, yeah, when you turn, he turns his
cars here.
Yeah. Huh. But it's a German BMW.
It's a German spec BMW, yeah, but they can't tell. So whenever
it's right hand, it's left hand drive in Germany too, right?
Yeah. So whenever he has to get the inspection every 2 years, he has to turn it off. He has to program it off to pass inspection, and then he turns it back on. Yeah, I'm talking about the running lights.
The daytime running lights. Yeah.
So you guys, shuffle hands. You guys have it on permanently. The turning signals as running lights. We don't have that. It's illegal here. And also, the turning signals have to be yellow or orange. Well, orange, more orange.
Yeah. And the turn signals on the rear of the car have to be clear? Or no, they have to be orange too, don't they?
They have to be orange. Yep. So I can I know if I see a car, I know that they're military people, and whenever they have like the running lights, a red turning signal, running lights, I know it's military. I wish I could program my turning signals as running lights. I have daylight, like running lights, regular ones, white ones, but my Golf GTI doesn't let me do it.
Oh, have you played with the what is it in the Audis? Is it VAG? Is it VAG?
Yeah. It's the same. It's the
Volkswagen
same
Audi Group
Porsche.
diagnostic software, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you can't change that?
With it. No, it has a different control unit. I tried it.
Yeah, I remember when we had my wife's 2006 Audi A3. We hooked a computer up to it, and we saw all sorts of fun stuff that we could tweak based on more or less what country the car thought it was in. Or made for.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting how much they lock behind all that software.
I mean, they have to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's
I mean,
specific, so.
and you don't want that being a user-facing, user-friendly setting for them to be able to change and just willy-nilly breaking the law whenever they feel like it, right?
Yep.
I get that. Just don't make it too difficult for people like you or me who know how to do stuff.
Yep.
Alright, we're coming down to the wire. We've got the last pod. We've got 24 minutes left. Come on. Say something.
I'm having trouble connecting.
3878, you are
Last one.
the next and lucky last one for the day. I told every single pod that we fixed today has been basically pushed out because of the 4th of July. And I told them all because they all showed up yesterday. I was like, this is going to take me a few days to get through. So I'm happy that we got them all cleared out here just a day later at least. Let's go. Of course, we still have everything that showed up in today, but we'll save all that for tomorrow. We'll keep ourselves busy. Oh, the Dodge Caliber with the native iPod integration, yeah. I don't think I've ever even ridden in a Dodge Caliber before. Low-key, I kind of want one. I want a wagon, the Dodge Caliber wagon, and I want to swap a Hellcat motor into it. That'd be cool. But at the same time, I'm not a fan of Chrysler products. Not my cup of tea. None of their design I really like. Okay, I mean they do good with the Challenger.
I kind of fell in love with GTI, so I think my next car is going to be another GTI. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever been in? Is the GTI the 2-liter turbo or is it the VR6?
Yeah. No, it's a 2-liter turbo.
Yeah, those are pretty hot spanking engines. That's the same one that we had in our Audi. They pull some good power for how big they are.
Yeah, I mean, in Germany, it's not beneficial or in all of Europe to have big cars. So some Americans struggle to drive here in our narrow roads with their trucks that they bring over. But like, are you familiar with the Volkswagen Scirocco?
I'm sure if I saw it, you have to spell that out for me.
Hold on, let me type it in the chat. My mom wanted me to get that car, but I didn't like it. I had a Volkswagen Polo. Was too small for me, and the Golf is perfect size.
Where did you type it?
In YouTube chat.
Oh, there it is. Search Google for this.
It kind of looks like a Golf.
Oh yeah.
But
it's like a
I'm pretty
Golf,
sure you guys
but
don't have
with
the model.
it's like a Golf with hips.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit between a Golf and a Beetle.
Yeah. I would drive that. No,
The Golf GTIs are so much better.
I was saying if you ever have a chance to drive one of the Golfs with a VR6 in it.
Those are rare. They don't produce them. I think it's a Golf 3, that Golf Mark 3 that had it.
What is it? Yeah,
even older.
What does my roommate have? He's got like a 2006 Golf with the VR6, and he let me drive it. And I mean, I drove to his house in the A3 2-liter turbo, so it was a pretty good direct comparison. Wildly different. Let me say that. I mean, obviously you've got a 2-liter turbo with no guts up front, and then it all comes in, versus a VR6 with moderate amount of beans throughout the whole power band. It's an interesting driving experience, but I really liked it because it's just like all the power is there whenever you want it. You slam it and it immediately goes. You're not waiting for the turbo, and it sounds really nice.
I'm pretty sure the Mark III was the last official one. I'm not that into cars, but I'm pretty sure they don't produce them anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they don't.
Or at least in Germany, they're not as common. Google says they stopped production of the VR6 December 2024.
Oh, a year ago. Okay, that's a lot newer than I thought.
But I never seen a GT like there's no stock GTI Mark 6 that has that engine. Let's see.
Okay. The home stretch. Let's get these filters. You want a Tahoe, shuffle hands? Get yourself a Suburban, man. Get a Suburban. Urban assault vehicle. with a Vortec engine.
They used the V6 or VR6 engine for the US market in the Atlas.
In the Atlas?
Volkswagen Atlas. Yeah, they use it there, but not in Germany. They didn't use it for quite some years. They also used it for like the Audi Q7, the Volkswagen Touareg, and Phaeton, and the Porsche Cayenne. But
the Phaeton. The Phaeton. The Phaeton.
Yep.
Oh, didn't those come with the W12 too? Nah, I want one of those so bad. I want one of those so bad, man.
My uncle used to have one of those.
With the
I don't
W12?
know which engine it had.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Literally two V6s glued together, man. I love it.
For me, that car is I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that car.
No, it's ugly as sin. I can't like how it looks at all. But the idea of sticking two V6s together side by side and calling it a W12, I'm gonna get behind that. I'll drive the ugliest car on the planet for an engine with that. Like that. It was overall just a horrible car. I think Top Gear really ripped on it. Quit that TikTok, Stefan. Drop it and never come back. The pioneers didn't have TikTok. Who needs TikTok when you can just go on YouTube and look up meme compilations?
Oh, hell no.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. There's this
TikTok that you can watch Nick fixing HomePods.
Hey, there we go. I'll even put some Subway Surfers gameplay up in the corner for you. Yeah, I don't know what you all are eating to get so tall.
How tall are you, Nick?
I'm 5'11". So I'm an inch.
Taller than I am.
No, I'm an inch taller than the average American height, but it's still, I mean, it doesn't feel tall, and everybody keeps saying like that's tall, and it's not. I don't think it is. My dad's tall. My dad's like 6'2". I think 6 foot or taller is tall.
No, well, 6 foot. Like I'm 5'9", but 6 foot converted in years in Europe isn't considered tall. It's just it's not the average, it's above average, but you'd have to be 190 or up to 2 meters, which is like 6'2", 6'4", 6'6". Then you'd be considered tall.
Yeah, I can agree with that. See, I'll still agree with that. But when the average American height is like, I think 5'9" or 5'10", and everybody's claiming they're 6 foot tall. Not when I'm walking through a crowd of people and I can see above all of you. Seeing like my mom is like freaking 5'6" or something. My mom is really short. My grandma's even shorter. And then both of my sisters are shorter than me. But my dad's the tall fella. I didn't get his genes though. They must have canceled out with my mom's short genes, and I just kind of came out average height, more or less. But my kid, I mean, she was like 36 inches tall by the time she turned 2. 3 feet.
Stefan just said something in German.
Well, I appreciate that Google Translate did not work. It thinks that he's speaking English.
He said, I don't know if it's like a saying. It's like it's like life is not a bed of roses. That's what Google Translate tells me. It's like life is how it is. You can't, like, yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. And we have another saying that's the same. Life is not a wish concert, like a wishing concert. You can't, like, it just happens. And basically, it's like life's not easy. It's not always easy or just full of pleasure.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
Damn, you're almost done. Look at you.
We did it.
We have 7 minutes left.
We have 7 minutes left. Let's see. Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah, no, we got close. I think we could squeeze another one in there.
Do you have one more?
Oh, no, I actually don't. I mean, I've got we do have more, but nothing we could do in 7 minutes. It'd take me 5 minutes just to get it out of the box and figure out whose it is.
Okay. One of the HomePods, I have the person that tried to fix it before. They didn't get the gasket down. They cut the strings.
Why would they do this? Just take the screws out.
So now the mesh isn't perfect, and it pushes up the plastic thing on top.
Yeah.
So it doesn't stay on. Yeah.
Yeah. With a bit of effort, you can. I've worked around it before. You can stuff it back in there. It's a pain in the ass, but it's possible. You can make it look as good as new.
I mean, It's the ones that my mom, one of the pair that my mom uses for the Apple TV. It's behind the TV, so
yeah, I
it
wouldn't.
doesn't matter.
I wouldn't worry about that. None of that even matters since it's all sealed.
No.
Sealed further down below.
Yeah. But I also don't heat the glue when I put the top lids back on.
Nah. That too. You don't need to do this unless you're shipping it. I do this because there's a chance that it'll slide around if we don't properly stick it back on there.
Okay.
That, and it lets us push it down just a hair bit more and make it look all that more untouched. Very nice, folks. That is it.
I didn't. Perfect. I didn't do it because I also want to have it easier if I have to open it again.
Yep, and that's why we don't glue the things back together either. It's absolutely not necessary, and it's just going to make it difficult for someone in the future.
With like 10 screws for the gasket, I think that's sealed enough to be fair.
Yep. The gaskets. If the gasket's not sealing it, the glue's not gonna. The glue, the way that they applied it's not gonna do anything.
So do you think they did this solely on purpose for not being able to repair it?
I see. It's hard to say. Like, so much of the design and the way that they treated and made the first gen HomePod, a lot of it points towards they were just genuinely trying to think of how to make it last for as long as possible and reducing the number of failure points. But on the flip side, they didn't glue the second gen together whatsoever. There's no glue in there. It's all purely screws. As a matter of fact, fewer screws than the first gen. So less glue no glue and fewer screws in the second gen, and they felt that was perfectly fine. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Without being on the team that made that decision, we're of course we're all just speculating here. But that's what I think. I don't know what to think. I'm pretty torn 50-50 between they did it for longevity reasons, but it's also really easy to think and say they did that to make it harder for people to work on. So much so that they screw themselves on it and they couldn't even work on them. And they changed that in the second gen so that they could. I don't know. But in any case, we've got everything all fixed. We're gonna get out of here and make some burgers and dogs. I just want to grill for God's sake. So, folks, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Goodbye.
Goodbye.